Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. Charges against Julie and Todd Chrisley Revealed. In a dramatic turn of events that has captivated both longtime fans and legal observers across the country, federal prosecutors have revealed a sweeping and meticulously detailed list of charges against reality television stars Julie and Todd Chrisley, the married couple, who rose to prominence through their show that showcased the trials, triumphs, and turbulent dynamics of their Southern family, are now facing the harsh spotlight of federal scrutiny for alleged financial crimes that span years and involve millions of dollars. The charges mark a stunning reversal of fortune for the Chrisleys, who have long portrayed themselves as devout, principled individuals devoted to family, faith, and fiscal discipline. Known for their polished image, sharp wit, and aspirational lifestyle, they cultivated a brand rooted in Southern charm and modern prosperity. However, behind the gleaming facade of designer wardrobes, immaculate homes, and carefully curated social media posts, federal investigators allege that the couple engaged in a prolonged scheme of fraud, deception, and financial misconduct that undercut the very foundations of the image they so meticulously cultivated. The federal indictment, brought forth after a multi-year investigation led by the Internal Revenue Service, in conjunction with other federal agencies, outlines a wide-ranging conspiracy in which the Chrisleys are accused of conspiring to defraud banks, mislead tax authorities, and obstruct justice. According to prosecutors, the couple allegedly submitted false documents, exaggerated income, and hid financial information to secure loans and evade tax obligations. These actions, if proven in court, constitute serious violations of federal law and carry the potential for significant prison time, financial penalties, and lasting reputational damage. According to court documents and statements from prosecutors, the Chrisleys are accused of orchestrating a complex web of financial deceit that began years before they rose to national fame. Allegedly, they created and submitted falsified bank statements, audit reports, and personal financial documents to multiple financial institutions in order to obtain large loans they otherwise would not have qualified for. Prosecutors argue that the documents in question misrepresented the couple's assets and earnings, effectively painting a picture of financial stability and affluence that was largely illusory. By doing so, they allegedly secured funds under false pretenses and used the proceeds to maintain their lavish lifestyle, pay off old debts, and fund various business ventures. The indictment also details the role of Julie Chrisley, who prosecutors say was not a passive participant but an active collaborator in the fraudulent schemes. She is accused of submitting forged documents, overseeing falsified bookkeeping entries, and helping to conceal income streams from both lenders and federal tax authorities. At the heart of the case lies the allegation that the couple's outward success was, in part, built on a foundation of dishonesty, with key financial metrics manipulated or fabricated to deceive banks and other institutions. Federal investigators contend that the Chrisleys' alleged criminal conduct extended well beyond bank fraud. They are also charged with multiple counts of tax evasion and obstruction of justice. According to the government, the couple consistently failed to file accurate tax returns and deliberately withheld information about their income and assets from the Internal Revenue Service. In some instances, they allegedly funneled income through corporate accounts, made payments to third parties in lieu of direct salary, and failed to declare significant revenue derived from their television appearances, brand endorsements, and production ventures. The prosecution alleges that these actions were not merely accounting oversights or administrative errors, but formed part of a calculated effort to minimize their tax burden and avoid scrutiny. In one particularly damning allegation, prosecutors claimed that the Chrisleys maintained offshore accounts and engaged in other financial maneuvers designed to obscure the true scope of their wealth. These efforts allegedly included instructing associates to lie to federal agents, destroying financial records, And using
Adding another
intermediaries
layer
to
of
complexity to the case is the role played by Mark Braddock, a former employee and business associate of Todd Chrisley, who has since turned government witness. Braddock claims he was involved in many of the alleged fraudulent activities and has provided prosecutors with documents, emails, and testimony that support the charges. According to Braddock, the Chrisleys routinely directed him to fabricate documents, create shell companies, and manipulate financial statements. In exchange for his cooperation, Braddock has reportedly been granted immunity or reduced sentencing considerations, a common tactic used by prosecutors to strengthen their case against primary defendants. The defense, for its part, has aggressively denied all allegations and characterized the charges as baseless, politically motivated, and rooted in personal vendettas. Attorneys for the Chrisleys have argued that the couple is being unfairly targeted due to their celebrity status and that any financial irregularities were the result of errors made by third-party accountants and advisors, not willful criminal conduct. They maintain that the couple has always endeavored to meet their legal obligations and have been fully cooperative with authorities. In a series of public statements and television appearances made before their trial, the Chrisleys have steadfastly proclaimed their innocence. Todd Chrisley, in particular, has framed the case as an attack on his family's character and the misrepresentation of their business dealings. He has pointed to the couple's long-standing faith, philanthropic efforts, and strong family ties as evidence of their integrity, insisting that they are victims of a smear campaign orchestrated by disgruntled former employees and overzealous prosecutors. However, the court of public opinion has proven to be as divided as the legal proceedings themselves. While some fans remain loyal and express unwavering support for the couple, others have voiced skepticism, pointing to the sheer volume of charges and the detailed nature of the allegations. The case has also sparked a broader conversation about the nature of fame, the pressures of public image, and the ethical boundaries of wealth and influence in the digital age. The trial, which is expected to span several weeks, will include testimony from forensic accountants, financial analysts, former employees, and possibly even the Chrisleys themselves. The proceedings will hinge on whether prosecutors can convince a jury that the couple knowingly and intentionally defrauded financial institutions and the federal government. For the defense, the challenge will be to create reasonable doubt, cast suspicion on the credibility of witnesses like Braddock, and present an alternative narrative of misunderstanding and mismanagement, rather than criminal intent. Regardless of the outcome, the case represents a cautionary tale about the intersection of celebrity and accountability. In an era where social media and reality television can elevate ordinary individuals into household names almost overnight, the Chrisley case underscores the enduring relevance of legal and ethical standards. It serves as a stark reminder that fame does not confer immunity, and that those who build their public personas on the premise of honesty and responsibility may face heightened scrutiny when those values are called into question. As the legal process unfolds, the Chrisleys remain under close watch, both from the public and from federal authorities. Their future, once filled with television deals, book contracts, and public appearances, now hangs in the balance. The final chapter of their story has yet to be written, but the revelations already brought to light ensure that their legacy will be shaped not only by their successes, but by the legal and moral challenges they now shows support amid legal turmoil. In the midst of ongoing legal battles that have brought intense public scrutiny and emotional strain to the Chrisley family household, Todd Chrisley's family members have emerged as a vocal and visible source of support, rallying behind the patriarch with affirmations of loyalty, prayers, and emotional strength as the reality television star navigates the difficult terrain of legal proceedings. Family unity has become both a personal shield and a public declaration of solidarity. The Chrisleys, once celebrated for their glamorous lifestyle and close-knit familial bonds, have recently seen their lives turned upside down amid federal charges that allege financial fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy, While the legal fight wages on in the courtroom, behind the scenes the family has leaned into one another, offering comfort, resilience, and an unwavering front that underscores their collective commitment to Todd Chrisley and to one another. Family members, including Julie Chrisley, Savannah Chrisley, and Chase Chrisley, have used both public and private avenues to express their belief in Todd's character, often describing him as a devoted father, husband, and man of faith. Their vocal support has extended beyond television interviews and social media messages, finding expression in quiet moments of reflection, shared family dinners, and emotional court appearances that emphasize the deep bonds they continue to share. Julie Chrisley, Todd's wife and longtime partner, has been particularly steadfast in her expressions of support, describing her husband as a man of principle and strength. In interviews and statements made through legal representatives, she has defended his integrity and commitment to their family. She has spoken about the emotional challenges of enduring public scrutiny while balancing her role as a mother and wife, but maintains that her faith and her trust in her husband guide her through the darkest moments. Their children, too, have stepped into the spotlight, not just as reality television personalities, but as advocates for their father. Savannah Chrisley has been one of the most vocal, sharing emotional messages on social media and in interviews that highlight her belief in her father's innocence and her frustration with what she describes as a mischaracterization of their family. By outsiders, she has called the ordeal a test of faith and strength, and has spoken movingly about the personal toll it has taken, while reaffirming her love and loyalty to her father. Chase Chrisley has echoed similar sentiments, describing his father as a man who has always prioritized his family above all else and who has worked tirelessly to provide for and protect them. In moments of reflection, Chase has acknowledged the emotional burden of watching his father endure public attacks and legal accusations, but insists that his belief in Todd's innocence has never wavered. Like his sister, he has framed the experience as a trial that will ultimately strengthen their family rather than break it. Beyond immediate family, other relatives and longtime friends have also stepped forward to show support. Family matriarchs, cousins, and trusted confidants have spoken about Todd's generosity, his sense of humor, and his commitment to helping others even when facing personal adversity. These testimonies, while informal, offer a portrait of a man who is deeply loved and respected within his inner circle, and whose supporters remain confident in his unity has not gone unnoticed by the public or the media. In a cultural landscape often characterized by fractured celebrity families and public feuds, the Chrisleys' tightly knit bond has stood out as both a source of intrigue and inspiration. Their public displays of unity serve as reminders of the strength that can be drawn from kinship, particularly during times of personal and public crisis. Many observers have noted that the Chrisleys appear to be leaning heavily on their shared faith, using prayer, spiritual counsel, and religious teachings to navigate the uncertainty and emotional weight of the trial. The family has often spoken of their belief that truth will prevail and that divine justice will ultimately guide the outcome of the case. This spiritual dimension has offered them comfort and resolve, while also deepening the emotional narrative that surrounds their ongoing support for Todd. Their support, however, has not come without criticism. Some skeptics argue that the family's unwavering stance may come at the expense of acknowledging possible legal missteps. Others view their public declarations as calculated moves to preserve their brand or influence the court of public opinion. Still, others see it as a natural response from a close family circle, unwilling to accept the worst about one of their own. In either case, the loyalty shown by Todd Chrisley's family remains an undeniable aspect of the broader story. What becomes clear through their actions and words is that the Chrisley family sees itself not as a collection of individuals, but as a unified whole bound by love, shared history, and enduring faith. This perspective has colored their response to every twist in the legal saga, transforming the courtroom battles into a personal, spiritual, and emotional journey that touches each member of the family in unique but overlapping ways. While the legal outcome remains uncertain and the full weight of the allegations continues to be tested in court, The emotional resilience of Todd Chrisley's family has become its own narrative, one that reflects the power of familial bonds in the face of extraordinary challenges. As they continue to stand by his side, their actions speak to a broader truth about the role of family during crisis, not just as passive observers, but as active participants in the emotional and moral defense of those they love. Whether the court of law ultimately finds in Todd Chrisley's favor or not, his family's steadfast support offers a compelling dimension to a story already rich in drama, tension, and public fascination. For now, they remain his most committed advocates, his emotional foundation, and the clearest testament to the life he built before the courtroom became his battleground. Todd and Julie Chrisley, the stars of the reality television show Chrisley Knows Best, were indicted on federal charges including tax evasion, bank fraud, and wire fraud in August 2019. The indictment alleged that the couple attempted to hide income from their reality show from the IRS and submitted false documents to secure over $30 million in loans. In June 2022, after a nearly 3-week trial in Georgia, they were found guilty on all charges. Todd Chrisley was convicted of conspiracy to commit bank fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and tax fraud, while Julie Chrisley was convicted of the same charges along with wire fraud and obstruction of justice. In November 2022, Todd was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison, and Julie received a 7-year sentence. They began serving their sentences in January 2023. In September 2023, their sentences were slightly reduced, with Todd's release date set for January 2033 and Julie's for October 2028. The couple's legal troubles also led to the cancellation of their reality show, Chrisley Knows Best, which ended in 2023 after 9 seasons. Despite their convictions, the Chrisleys have maintained their innocence and filed appeals. In June 2024, a federal appeals court overturned Julie's sentence, citing a miscalculation, and ordered a resentencing. However, in September 2024, she was resentenced to 7 years in prison. Their daughter, Savannah Chrisley, has been vocal in defending her parents, alleging misconduct by the prison system and criticizing the prosecution. She has also been involved in developing a new reality series documenting the family's legal battles. The Chrisleys' case highlights the serious consequences of financial crimes and the importance of transparency and honesty in financial dealings. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.